What killed the dinosaurs? Number one!
Were you thinking it?
No, you said it.
On December 16th, we're getting a new map for Warzone, a new Gulag experience, and 30 new weapons to add to your Warzone loadouts. Today we're going to go over the top guns from Cold War that you should be leveling up. As any good game developer wants, with each new update they intend to shake up the meta, not only to provide freshness for the player, but also make media buzz, to keep big streamers playing and have many players come back to the game. And what that results in is more battle passes and skins being bought. After all, this is a business, and a business is here to make money. So understanding the psychology, it allows us to make some educated guesses on what's to come. I would actually be very dumbfounded if the devs decided not to make some of these guns meta. For example, I don't think the Asphalt and the SPR came out so broken accidentally. Those new guns took over the meta, created buzz, and had a lot of players and streamers coming back searching for new content. And because they were so broken, everyone used them, and even after the fix, they've remained a staple in Warzone. So yeah, mission accomplished on their end. With that said, you should take all this info from me and anyone else you follow with a grain of salt when it comes to this topic. Cold War and Warzone play differently, so the guns won't work exactly the same when they transfer over. I personally think that recoil is basically non-existent in Cold War, and expect that to change when the guns move over. Before we get into the list, make sure to like and subscribe. We're a Warzone channel here, and we'll be bringing you in-depth guides and class setups for all of these weapons when they're actually in Warzone. Now, starting off with the AK-47, this isn't your Modern Warfare's AK. This version of the gun has damage to melt, can put damage downrange, and above all else has very minimal recoil. It's arguably the best assault rifle in Cold War right now. Just like the dominant M4 in Modern Warfare's multiplayer, it was still very competitive when it moved over to Warzone. I suspect we're going to have a similar situation when the AK moves from Cold War over to Warzone. The next gun we're going over is the XM4. It is a solid, well-rounded gun, but being well-rounded never took the top meta spot in Warzone. Guns always have to excel and dominate in one area of the game or another. Although I don't think this will be the best of the best, I'm pretty sure it will still at least be viable. The next assault rifle you should think about is the Krig 6. We're talking about very low recoil, and it is the closest gun that I could compare to the Grau or the Kilo. The low recoil, high bullet velocity, and damage at range makes this the best automatic weapon at long range in Cold War. That has the makings of becoming the new meta in Warzone. Now we're going over two weapons that could be viable, but I don't think they're going to be quite meta, and those are the burst weapons, the M16 and the AUG. In Cold War's multiplayer, they are without a doubt a pleasure to use when holding down angles and shooting opponents at long range. The one burst kill potential in multiplayer is great, but when we're talking about Warzone, you're gonna need a few more bursts to kill, and being able to track opponents at long range while shooting those bursts is a little difficult, and the fact that they're burst weapons is gonna make them very unusable at close range. And if you're only going to use this gun at long range, why not just have a sniper or a Kar 98 where you actually have the one-shot kill potential? Either way though, the M16 and the AUG are both going to be better than the FAMAS in my opinion. They have way better recoil control, they do more damage, and they have a faster rate of fire. The difference between these two is that the AUG has more DPS while the M16 has better recoil control. And as we know, recoil control is king in Warzone. As for short range weapons, I don't think any of the shotguns will become meta, which is great, but that's only because I doubt any of them could take down the current king, the R9. As for the SMGs, first we have the MP5. This is the most used SMG in multiplayer because it has great DPS and controllability. You could really melt opponents left and right. Although it has gone through a nerf, and I could see the devs further nerfing this gun for Warzone. There's already a dominant MP5 in Warzone, and if the goal is to provide freshness, making this the meta SMG would not be the way to do it. However, that's not the strongest argument for not leveling up the MP5, so I wouldn't bump this one too far down in your priority list. Next, we have the AK-74U. It is the second most used SMG in Cold War, and it is the SMG that I am putting my focus into. It has great DPS, it melts, and it is very controllable. It's a fun gun to use, and I could definitely see a lot of people dominating their opponents in Warzone. For snipers, I'm hesitant to recommend a gun here, and you should probably focus on other guns first. But out of all of them, I would say the Pellington has the best potential to become meta because it has the best handling speed, although I would actually wait until the integration to see if this sniper is viable. But like I said, I would put this at the bottom of your priority list and probably wait until the integration happens to see if this sniper will actually become part of the meta. For the LMG category, the popular one that people are talking about is the Stoner 63. It has low recoil and high damage, but it is extremely slow. I really do hope this finds a place in Warzone as I am a big fan of LMGs. This actually does remind me of the SA-87 except with better recoil control. And if we could get something like that in the game, I think it would be an awesome thing. As for everything else in the game, I don't think you have to worry about it. Of course, there could always be some surprises when guns get tweaked and come over to Warzone, and we'll make sure to cover those on this channel, as well as bringing the best builds and class setups for all the guns listed today. So make sure to subscribe because I'm going to have a lot more coming your way. Let me know if you throw any other guns on this list that we should be leveling up in preparation for Warzone. My name is Assassin, and thanks for watching.